Hello everybody, welcome back to F1 Manager 24. Today we've got a bumper episode. We are simulating Monaco, racing Canada, and then simulating Barcelona as well. So lots to get through today, which means in the next episode we'll be racing in Austria, potentially skipping Great Britain, and then we're getting back to where Series 1 ended, basically. But yes, we are making some good progress, actually. And let me know down below your thoughts on this. I am potentially looking at a mod sort of editor that you can introduce, which means you can then reorganize the schedule of the races. You can remove races from the Grand Prix for next season. You can do all fun stuff like that. You can change where sprint races are, where different races are held. Well, not different races are held. Obviously, they're held in the same country. But when they're held on the calendar, let me know if that's something you'd be interested, because then we can reduce from a 24 season race calendar to maybe like 20, which seems a bit more manageable. But let me know down below on your thoughts with that. Now, before we get into Monaco, we have some stuff here. So, I mean, Danny Rick's looking very, very positive at all. If we go into his full report, though, you can see that team principal-wise, he's unhappy with the facilities, as is Ollie Bearman. So we are going to invest a little bit of money into our facilities. For the first time in this save, we'll go in there and obviously we'll upgrade the helipad, because a helipad makes a huge difference. And then we're just going to do whatever is cheapest. 590. The tour centre is 150. That's very cheap. A memorabilia room 586. The weather centre, that would be quite expensive now. Hospitality 1.8. Okay, so we'll do the tour centre. We'll upgrade the tour centre in there. What have we got here? Team Hub 1.5, Scouting Department 1.3, Race Simulator 2.8. The Race Simulator would be good for Ollie Bearman's development for sure. In here, the factory would be really useful. That's 11 million. We're not going to be able to do much about these, I don't think, for the foreseeable future. They're all very, very expensive, so which makes sense. These are the bits that change the car and make the car go faster. So I think we'll stick with that. We'll do helipad and tour centre. Has that had an impact? Ollie Bearman's gone up to positive, so that's definitely had an impact on him, I would suggest. Full report, Ollie Bearman, he's still unhappy with the facilities, but he's now gone to a smiley face because there's 2 upgrades started, so we will crack on with that. Right, into Monaco we go then. We've got to set the race targets. We have a decent car. I'm going to say Danny Rick can get 13th. Ollie Bearman should be able to get 17th. It's just whether they put it into the wall in Monaco. I'll go and simulate all of this. We'll be back for the race results. So, Monaco simulated. Daniel Ricciardo 6th. He is loving races being simulated at the moment. Ollie Bearman finished 18th, so just 1 point behind his race target, but we do get £500,000. We actually put Daniel Ricciardo on a pretty normal strategy, which was the medium to hard, and Ollie Bearman went for a soft, medium soft to try and get him to do something a little bit different, but it didn't quite work. But the simulation of Monaco is done. It's more points on the board for Brawn and Daniel Ricciardo. He is having a lovely time of it. And yeah, we can just see increased construction speed. I've just been informed that we can bring the upgrading deadline forward to the tour centre by paying to deliver certain materials via a different carrier. For 50,000? Yeah, we can do that for 50,000. Why not? And yeah, so a really good race in Monaco, to be honest. But some new things are needed on the car. We've got a front wing needed on car number 2, and side pods are needed on car number 2. Sorry, car number 1 was the front wing. Car number 2 as well. So that is really good. But I was talking about this in the last episode, and I can't renew his contract. He recently started a new contract. Okay, we're obviously going to have to wait for Ollie Bearman. Is that the same for his race engineer as well? Yep, we can't do any of that. So I was going to do some contract updates, but not happening, unfortunately. Lots of manufacturing happening as the chassis number 2 is complete. Does that now mean what car? What has? So that has chassis number 2. They both have chassis number 2. Okay, so front wing we have. What have we got? We've got 4 available for that, so that's 2 in stock with their rear wings. We've got 4 side pods. We've only got 2, but we are creating a new one. Underfloors, we've got 3 of them. Looks like we are doing a project on that as well. And the suspension, we can install that on car number 1. What does that give us? A little bit of a reducing cornering, but better top speed and acceleration. So not too bad. Obviously, up next is Canada, one of my favourite Grand Prix on the calendar. So we will be doing that one as a race, as the helipad is upgraded. Excellent. And the tour centre as well. We brought that forward, paying for those extra little bits there. We've got side pods, tour centre and helipad, both upgraded. So yeah, really enjoying how this is going. The side pods are ready to be manufactured. 2 of them 16 days, the first one done in 8, so none of them are going to be ready for Montreal unless we rush, and then the first one would be ready for Montreal. Oh, do we? I don't need to rush 2 of them, I don't think. 20 days, so no, we can rush. We're going to rush the first one, and we're going to get that on Daniel Ricciardo's car. That's the first bit of rushing we've done in this save so far, so I think that's, or maybe the second, but it's pretty good. Ollie Behrman is improving quite a lot as well, which is good, and very excited to see how we're going to do. Okay, pit stop stuff. So we're going to look at cumulative. So at the moment, by Austria, we're not going to be very good on car release. Spain, not very good on car release, and quite a lot of things getting a hit there. So let's go pit stop drill. Let's go jacks if we can. So what does that do? -1 for jacks, +3, +3, -1, -1. So let's go jacks in the afternoon as well. In there. So that's now making +1, +3, +1, -1, -1. So that was wheel gun and car release. So wheel gun, and is car release in here? Yes, it is car release. Okay, so that gets us at +1, -1, and they're not going to be very tired either. So we could put in, let's get in a pit stop drill, used tyres off. Oh, there it is, used tyres off. That should make us pretty well rounded. Everything improving by 1, which is good. And then by Spain, we're going to have quite a lot of improvements and a lot of... Okay, +4, 0, 0, +4, 0. I'm not too fussed about that. That's quite good with a big improved time. 2.6 seconds. We do need to work on our stops. This is just going to be full rest, I think. I've gone the wrong way, haven't I? That's rest there. So hopefully they're just... Yeah, they're going to be... Chance of a mistake is going to improve at Austria or be much higher. But I'm quite impressed with how this is going. We're working on it. We're working on it. Obviously, you can put them all on gym all the time, and it does reduce the time of the pit stops, but I'm also looking to reduce the chances of errors as well, as our front wing research is complete for 2024. That is good. We'll get another one going in just a bit, but I think we've used up all of our time for the ATR period, so we'll see what we can do. Manufacture completed for the underfloor. Isaac Hajar, 1.7 million. Absolutely not. We're not paying an affiliate 1.7 million a year. I think that's just too expensive. So Hajar is out for now. He's done. Side pods are done. So let's put the side pods onto Danny Rick's car. Install on car 1, and then we'll go in here, manufacture 3 more on normal, just so that we've got some waiting in the wins as well. So that high-speed cornering, he's now 4th best on the grid, Danny Ricciardo. Very happy with that. Ollie Behrman is... Let's have a look. Ollie Behrman is 7th best on the grid. So, yeah, the 2 cars are looking pretty decent at the moment. I missed the news about Formula 1 in May. But we are heading to the Canadian Grand Prix. And... yeah, what are they thinking here? The car well suited to low-speed performance. I think the best strategy of the circuit will be a one-stop. Safety car chance is 50%. It looks like it's going to be warm. We're not expecting rain, so be prepared for normal, dry weather racing. Lovely. Let's go and set our targets then. Danny Rick, we're going to go big. He can get 11th or better. Ollie Behrman will stick with 18th. He should be able to smash that. I'll go and do practice. We'll be back for qualifying. Here we go then, ready for qualifying. We are in a good position here. 98% for Daniel Ricciardo, 93% set up for Ollie Behrman. So both drivers doing a good job in practice. We are putting in the slightly better components here. We're going with the more new, that's terrible English, the newer engine. And we'll go with the 66% gearbox there. Ollie Behrman is obviously using his damaged components for practice, just to get them out of the way. Basically, you don't need good components for practice, do you? So we'll give him We'll stick with the 51%er, I think. Or do we go for a new... Let's go for a new gearbox. We'll go for a new gearbox with Ollie Behrman. Hopefully he doesn't blow the thing up. But let's get into Q1 for Canada. Yeah, I love this circuit. So we're going to send Ollie Behrman out straight away again. See what he can do. But we are bringing some improved updates and stuff to the car. So we are in a decent position here. Let's send Daniel Ricciardo out there. Ollie Behrman is setting his first time, and he goes top of the timing charts, which is mightily impressive. Well done, Ollie Behrman. Quicker than Sergio Perez, apparently, although Zhou's just gone quicker than him, so maybe it wasn't as good. Daniel Ricciardo goes second, which is nice. There is definitely more pace to be had in that car from Ollie Behrman. Let's send him out again. I feel like because it's such a big track, Canada is so long that you can get quite a few runs in here to see how we can improve. Behrman did hit a little bit of traffic in and around there. Goes up to 9th. Obviously, Daniel Ricciardo bringing upgrades to his side pods for today as well. So let's send Daniel Ricciardo out there. Ollie Behrman, I think, is going to be safe. But just to be sure, let's get him out again. And then this will be everybody's last run. Daniel Ricciardo is going to have a good run here because he caught Sergio Perez on the DRS straight. Ollie Behrman's going to have a great run, I think, with absolutely no traffic. And Behrman does climb up to 9th again. 5th and 9th, it looks like we're ending Q1 unless lots of people dramatically improve. But we're not going to be going out again. So here we go. 6th and 10th. 7th and 11th. That looks like our place. 8th and 12th, not too bad. So into Q2, we're just going to set a banker lap with both drivers on used soft tyres. Just to make sure that they can get a lap in there early doors. Unfortunately, catching on turn 1 is never going to be good, and that's what happened there for Ollie Behrman. He caught Sergio Perez on the beginning of the lap. It was turn 4, not turn 1, but that's not a problem. Daniel Ricciardo goes 1.5 seconds quicker than his teammate, and we are on used soft, so not too much to worry about, to be honest. Reconfigure onto a fresh set, and I think we can probably go out again there and there with Daniel and see what we can do. Danny Rick could be in a great position here to get a lap in. Oh, Ollie Behrman again, just caught people at the wrong time. What are we going to do here? P12 for Ollie Behrman. Ricciardo goes up to 5th. I think we are going to have enough time to get out there on another lap, but I don't want to use too many sets of tyres. So we're going to put those on. We're just going to slow the time down a little bit here so that I can get this done right. Hamilton going out, Alonso going out, Tsunoda going out, Iwasa going out. Just waiting for the other big boys. Are they going to come out? Not sure they are. There goes Sargent. Aha, Leclerc is out. We'll send Daniel Ricciardo out there. And then we're going to send Ollie Behrman out there. And hopefully both drivers are going to get a clear run at this. Ollie Behrman's going to be a bit touch and go if he makes it. But Danny Rick should be in a great position with that free air in front of him. Lovely stuff. Both drivers do cross the line in time. Lando Norris didn't cross the line in time, so he's wasted an opportunity there. Danny Rick, can he improve from 6th? No, he can't. He stays 6th. Ollie Behrman can't improve from 16th. So Ollie Behrman out in 16th, but Danny Rick into Q3, 6th position. He is flying in this Brawn. He really is. We've actually got, more set of soft tyres than we probably need. Yeah, let's manage the session, obviously. Into Q3, around the Jacques Villeneuve circuit. And I think we can actually just... well, there goes Verstappen. So we'll follow Max Verstappen and Carlos Sainz and Lewis Hamilton. 3 very experienced drivers and teams who will know what they are doing. As Yuki Tsunoda gets out the way nicely. Danny Ricciardo goes 2nd behind Max Verstappen. Wowzers from Danny Rick. That is a great lap from Daniel Ricciardo. And he's staying 2nd at the moment. Put those tyres back on. And I think we will... Well, we're going to follow Max Verstappen out. We've dropped to 6th now as other teams start improving again. But there goes Carlos Sainz, just on his little lonesome. Hamilton is now out, which I assume Verstappen will be going relatively soon. It's all about getting the timing right. There goes Max Verstappen. So we're going to go out after Max Verstappen, in behind a bit of a Red Bull sandwich here. As Lewis Hamilton is going to Is he going to catch us as we get onto this straight? He isn't, because we had to start accelerating. So Daniel Ricciardo, can he set... he does improve in Sector 1. Danny Rick improves in Sector 2. Danny Rick improves overall half a second off Max Verstappen. He is flying in this Brawn. So yeah, Danny Rick will be starting 7th on the grid. Good stuff for him. Ollie Behrman down in 16th. Hopefully he can see some improvement with his racecraft. But we shall see. Danny Rick absolutely loving it. Partly cloudy in Canada for this race. They're saying this one stop is the quickest, apparently. But I'll have a quick play around, see what we can do. Okay, so for Daniel Ricciardo, it's a soft-medium strategy. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Ollie Behrman, we're going for a bit of a push on the softs to try and gain some places onto the mediums and on the softs. If there's a safety car, we can look to mix that strategy up, maybe get onto the hards a bit earlier. But we're going to stick with our tactic, by the way, of underfueling Daniel Ricciardo. It seems to be working pretty well. And then getting him to manage his fuel all the way around. Ollie Behrman, we underfuel by 3 laps, and that seems to be working for him as well, generally. So we'll see how this goes. But everybody's ready to go. We are ready for the Canadian Grand Prix, and we'll get this one underway. Very excited here. Partly cloudy, so we should be able to get temperature into the tyres pretty easily. But 5 red lights in Canada, and we are away. And let's see how we get on then. We've got Daniel Ricciardo up high in 7th, doing a great job in qualifying. And he's going to come through, sitting nicely behind Oscar Piastri. Ollie Behrman having a little look as well. We'll get Daniel Ricciardo on his high overtake aggression, like he likes to do. And we'll ask Ollie Behrman to just do a little bit less defending, just to try and avoid some incidents. But at the moment, both drivers staying where they are. What strategies have we got? Hamilton, Russell, Tsunoda on mediums. Norris and Leclerc going hards. Ollie Behrman up to 16th, or was starting in 16th, sorry, has got medium runners in front of him, but a mix of strategies all round. Always interesting to see as Behrman does overtake Valtteri Bottas early on in the race. You can see him being a little bit aggressive there. Comes round, or just completely outbrakes him on those soft tyres. Lovely move from Ollie Behrman, and he's catching the drivers in front as well. To be honest, I think Ollie Behrman's the person to be watching at the moment, because he's got past Alex Albon as well, and is having a look at the Haas there of Nico Hülkenberg as we come into the slow right-hander, big right-hander, sort of hairpin right-hander as he come around. Tsunoda's got a bit of damage up front as well. And yeah, both drivers doing all right. Danny Rick holding on to 7th, putting a gap between him and Lewis Hamilton. And Ollie Behrman is chasing down the cars in front and doing a bloody good job of it as well on those hard, soft tyres. We are asking him to push. It's going to be tough for him, but we're hoping that he can get something done. Lap 1 in the bag. So Danny Rick has got his first move done of the Grand Prix up the inside of Oscar Piastri into the hairpin. Lovely move. We'll get the DRS as well and accelerate up towards the Ferrari in front. And Brawn are on a charge here as Ollie Behrman has got Nico Hülkenberg into the hairpin as well up the inside. Lovely move. Sorry, into the chicane. Lovely move from Ollie Behrman. So just driving on board with Ollie Behrman as he comes down the really quick straight, and he's just going to get boxed in here by one of the V-Carbs and the Williams. But yeah, Ollie Behrman's having a great little race here. You can see with DRS. Are we going to get the door shut on our face? No, we're not. I think we're going to follow Iwasa past Sargent here, and we could get a double overtake if we play our cards right, because Ollie Behrman is on the charge. He has probably got an extra pit stop compared to everyone else. But Ollie Behrman, look at this. Look at him go. He's having a fantastic race. 2 moves in on board there with Ollie Behrman. And now he is going to have to push so that he can catch up to Yuki Tsunoda in front, who does have that damage. But yeah, at the moment, Behrman up into 12th. Danny Ricciardo 6th. It's just making a little gap towards Piastri, catching up with Norris as well. So hopefully we can get something done here. We just got to keep an eye on the temperature of Ollie Behrman's tyres. He is doing a good job. But yeah, he just needs to make this work. Is he pulling away? He is slowly pulling away as well. We do have to keep an eye on the battery, but as long as we can catch up to Yuki Tsunoda, who's got even more damage, apparently. Wow, he should be tumbling back towards us then. What is he? Is it? He's got a mechanical fault, Yuki Tsunoda. So he should fall back into our grasp as well, as Iwasa will just gain on us here with his DRS, I imagine. But he's not going to be close enough to get the move done. So good work from Ollie Behrman. Daniel Ricciardo is involved in the battle at the front. This is very good from Daniel Ricciardo because he's also got quite a lot of battery left to play with. So we're just going to see how this battle unfolds between Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz. Obviously two very good friends from their days at McLaren when they raced together. Side by side for quite a lot of the Jacques Villeneuve circuit. Ollie Bearman just loses a place to Iwasa from behind, but that's not too bad. He'll drag us up to his teammate anyway. And here we have the DRS, and we're going to try and make a move on Carlos Sainz with Daniel Ricciardo without even needing to deploy extra battery, and he's going to get that one done. So I'm wondering now, let's deploy, see if we can get Lando Norris into the hairpin and make that move stick. No, we're a little bit far away, but in theory we should have this move done on Lando. He's 2.8 seconds off Sergio Perez. So if we can get this done, Daniel Ricciardo will be up to 4th position and potentially swapping places with Lando Norris, who has started on the hards. Norris just boxing him out up against the wall. Will Danny Rick have a little look down the inside? No, he won't, but we're going to have DRS here. So let's accelerate, get this done, deploy a bit of extra battery out of the corner. And yeah, that is some great driving from Daniel Ricciardo, up to 4th position. He's only doing a 1-stop as well, so he should be pretty handy. I'm just going to take battle assist off and just tell him to deploy on every single corner. See if we can pull away from Lando Norris. As Bearman again has re-overtaken Iwasa. Just needs to close that gap on Yuki Tsunoda in front of him while he's pushing these tyres quite hard, Ollie Bearman. But Daniel Ricciardo is going to try and just accelerate away here from Lando Norris. And he's not quite got him out of range, but he's pretty much got him out of range. So we'll put him into neutral and just let him see what he can do, because he's going to be like 7/10 back. But Danny Rick is having an absolute blinder. So Oscar Piastri has got back at Daniel Ricciardo. The DRS really coming into his favour. Norris timed his overtake to perfection, and then Piastri just squeezes the other Australian out. Piastri goes up. Daniel Ricciardo down to 6th. Okay, we've got a yellow flag, but I don't think it's us. We've got a crash involving multiple cars that's happened. Oh, we're ahead of it just again. We've had a bit of luck that way, because that is Nico Hulkenberg getting smashed from behind by a V-carb. I think it's Yuki Tsunoda. It's going to be Iwasa or Tsunoda. Oh no, it must be Iwasa dropping all the way down here. So both V-carbs in a bit of trouble as Daniel Ricciardo is going for a move on Lando Norris. Oscar Piastri pushing forward. And look at us battling with the McLarens and the Ferraris here in Canada, making a very good stint of it. Oliver Bearman's not too far off his pit stop, obviously doing his strange 2-stop strategy, which now he's up to 11th. I'm sort of like, ooh, do we potentially... Got a time penalty given out to Iwasa. Daniel Ricciardo getting forced out of the inside again by Oscar Piastri, but I think he's just about going to sneak ahead, is he, on this corner? Daniel Ricciardo is going toe-to-toe with Piastri. A few people pitting in early, but what I wanted to look at was if we edit Oliver Bearman's strategy. If we went hards, and then can we get those hards all the way? I think they will go to the end, you know. They will go to the end. It says 14 seconds slower. Although that's... we can potentially get them on... Is a 1-stop more viable for Ollie Bearman? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We're not going to stick to that at the moment. We'll keep him on the mediums, keeping him going on that 2-stop strategy. But we shall have to see. All right, Danny Rick, keep going, mate. You're doing fine as Lando Norris does re-overtake Daniel Ricciardo. But so far, the Canadian Grand Prix is going pretty well. Ollie Bearman is in the points. He has got Fernando Alonso to take 10th position. Really good stuff from our young driver under the DRS. And I'm sort of... now he's up in 10th. I am thinking potentially a 1-stopper is the way to go. We'll have to wait and see. He's going to lose out, I think, to Fernando Alonso here. Ignore that pit at the moment. There is Ollie Bearman just closing the door on Fernando Alonso. He's got 46%, so we can draw these softs out for a bit longer. He's not too far. Do we stick with the strategy, or Ollie Bearman now being up to 10th, do we put him on the hards and see what he can do? I think we put him on the hards and see what he can do. So we're going to let him stay out a little bit longer on those. Someone else has developed. Iwasa's got a mechanical fault. That's not going to help his race, according that he's dead at last after his incidents earlier on. And Daniel Ricciardo still battling with the papaya of Lando Norris. No distinct winner in that battle just yet. Those two switching positions every single lap, basically, because I think Daniel Ricciardo will potentially get him back here under DRS. Doesn't look like it, although Carlos Sainz has brought himself back in. But we have got a 12-second gap to Hamilton behind. So it looks like 7th is looking good for Daniel Ricciardo at the moment, who doesn't have DRS, but the other two drivers do. That's incredibly infuriating. But Ollie Bearman passed Alonso up into 10th, having a great old time of it. We are not going to bring him into pit on this lap because he's keeping his tyres in temperature and he's doing a really good job of it. As Alonso nearly gets squeezed against the wall of champions. But yeah, he's doing a fantastic job here, Ollie Bearman. So we're going to stick him out a bit longer and then get him on those hard tyres when time allows, because he's doing absolutely fine. So Ollie Bearman into the pits, followed by Fernando Alonso. So Ollie Bearman getting the overtake done on that lap is now followed by Fernando Alonso into the pits, and Alonso's on softs. Is he going to go hard till the end? He's putting on the medium, so he's obviously going for a two-stopper. Maybe doing a Daniel Ricciardo soft medium, not sure, but Ollie Bearman is in. A good stop here would be crucial. It's being delayed. Oh, he's so unlucky again. That's going to cost him so much time to Fernando Alonso. Oh, he didn't need that when we're going to a one-stop strategy. But Ollie Bearman is going to come out on the hard tyre, and we're going to see if he can get those all the way to the end. If there's something happening, we've got mediums and we've got softs in reserve as well. As Daniel Ricciardo's got up to 3rd. How on earth has that happened? Oh, maybe someone's pitted. Okay, yeah, Sainz must have pitted. Perez has pitted. Okay, so lots of people are pitting. We need to come off that, get onto standard so that we can make sure they last the whole race. We'll start getting him to conserve some fuel as well, Ollie Bearman. But yeah, Daniel Ricciardo. Okay, so Ricciardo now does need to push, really, doesn't he? We do need to get him pushing as much as possible. So I'm going to drive on board at the moment with Daniel Ricciardo, and we're going to see what he can do and see if we can manage his ERS and stuff to allow him to pull away. He is pulling away from Oscar Piastri, which is good. We need to make these laps count, Daniel. Okay, so Ollie Bearman just passed last Stroll, and he should now be catching up to Fernando Alonso in front of him, as a lot of other people are coming into pit as well. George Russell is out of the pits in front of Ollie Bearman, back up to 11th, 2.5 seconds off Fernando Alonso. So we're going to try and get him to push, see if he can close that gap to Fernando and get that done. Danny Ric 5 or 6 seconds off Charles Leclerc in second. A couple of people behind him have pitted though. He's still got a few more laps to go, lap 30, so 5 more laps on these softs is what we're expecting from Danny Ric. But yeah, Bearman has got to put in some good laps here to try and close this gap to Fernando Alonso, who is on the mediums. But obviously we're going all the way. Lando Norris gets that position back on Daniel Ricciardo. But we're going all the way to the end on these hard tyres, which so far have had good pace. So I'm hoping that Ollie Bearman can stick it out there, because we've got Albon on softs behind him. Tsunoda's put hards on. Stroll's there as well. Not many people doing the same strategy as Ollie Bearman here, but he is closing the gap, although he has now used up all of his battery. He's closed the gap to 2 seconds, so we'll see how that goes. We'll leave him on top up for a little bit longer. But yeah, we shall. In fact, let's put him on neutral, because he's going to get quite a lot of charge coming out of the turn 1 and turn 2. So we shall see how that goes. But at the moment, Ollie Bearman's having a great race. Daniel Ricciardo is losing time to Lando Norris, who's all of a sudden just put his foot down. That McLaren's very, very good on tyre preservation, I would assume. 50%, 65%. The hard runners out in front are doing a cracking job, to be honest. Leclerc and Norris doing a good job. Piastri's actually got more tyre wear than us, so Daniel Ricciardo is doing a good job of it there. Daniel Ricciardo has been overtaken by Verstappen and Perez. He's about to come into the pits, though. This is going to be interesting to see where he comes out. Probably 7th. I think if we can jump Piastri, this would be epic, but it's going to be a tough ask. Ollie Bearman holding on to 11th. Albon not really closing the gap too much on him on those soft tyres, but yeah, this is going to be... We're doing a one-stop with both drivers, and I think we're very different from the rest of the field with that, as it's a 2.9. It's not amazing, but where is he going to come out? Here is Oscar Piastri coming around turn 1. Round turn 2, we're going to be very close to Oscar Piastri, so I don't think we've lost too much time from that, but we've got to make these tyres last till the end of the Grand Prix, and I believe in Daniel Ricciardo. So we're getting a few drivers coming in for their second stop, so this is where we should try and take advantage here, because obviously we're only doing a one stop. which again I think is in the minority, but we shall see, because that is Daniel Ricciardo challenging Sergio Perez, who has pitted onto fresh mediums. I just hope we don't tumble down the order. I think we're going to be okay. So Sergio Perez overtakes Daniel Ricciardo. It's always going to happen on those fresh tyres and in a faster car in the Red Bull. But hopefully Daniel Ricciardo can get pulled along by the DRS that he's going to get from Sergio Perez. That would be lovely. So this is where the proof will be in the pudding, because Ollie Behrman is going to jump up to 9th. No, he's not. Russell's going to beat him out. But he's overtaken Alonso in the pits, and it's now whether Alonso has pace on those fresh mediums to make up 17 seconds to Ollie Behrman in the last sort of 19 laps, which you'd think he probably would. He's probably going to lap a second quicker a lap, so we'll see. But if a safety car comes any time from now to the end of the race, we are in a very good position with both drivers, because we've got a set of soft tyres for each of them, and we've climbed the rankings. Ricciardo down to 7th, but yeah, he's having a decent race. A lot of people have done a 2-stop, which has seemed to be better. Okay, I'm just figuring something out here, because Alonso is lapping 1.4 seconds quicker than Ollie Behrman, but Ollie Behrman is still lapping slower than Albon and Sargent on his hard tyres. Yuki Tsunoda is absolutely miles away from us. Right, Yuki Tsunoda is, on the interval, is 3, 15.8, 15.9, plus 7. So 20-something seconds away. I think we can pit Behrman onto softs, get him out in front of Tsunoda, and then attack Sargent and Albon. Maybe not Alonso. But I think with 10 laps to go, Albon's doing 0.8 a lap quicker than us. Will Albon catch? I sort of feel like he will. I'm going to take the risk. I should have stuck on the original strategy. We're going to whack a set of softs on for Ollie Behrman on this lap. So we'll track his pit stop. And it needs to be a good stop. It needs to be a good stop. Stroll is out. Oh, he made it back to the pit lane and retired then, Lance Stroll. But there you go. There goes Alonso. Albon is battling his teammate. Iwasa has a mechanical fault as well. As there is Ollie Behrman coming in for a new set of softs. On they go. Decent stop, 2.5. Alex Albon. Oh, this is going to be close. It's going to be close. Ollie Behrman comes out. There is his teammate to lap him. As Ollie Behrman is out in front of his teammate, and now he needs to go. He really needs to go. Attack. Push. He's let his teammate go through blue flags, which is fine. But Ollie Behrman needs to push. I want to get 11th. I know we're in the points, but Alonso is going to get us anyway. But yeah, we are doing okay. I guess the thing, I could have done a similar thing to have a look at 8. So that would have been 11. I mean, we could have pitted Ricciardo and got out as well, but I don't think we would catch. Oh, we're going to have that thing where he gets stuck like we did in the last race behind Lando Norris, and he can't unlap himself. Like, I don't think I can even tell Daniel Ricciardo to not fight his teammate. That is very irritating. But we need Danny Rick to push and basically catch up to those Williams in front, to be honest. That is what we need. But whilst we're behind him, we can sit in top up, I guess. They're not on yet. We'll get that back to balanced. Come on, Daniel. Get a move on, son. What's Daniel's lap times? 1:15.8. 1:14.7. Oh, he's lapping similar to them. He's not really catching. But hopefully with him pushing a little bit. Danny's got so much time and space that he can pull away and hopefully pull Ollie Behrman up. Okay, your temperature is optimal, so just sit on aggressive for them. For now. I think we are catching the Williams at Ollie Behrman. Because the Williams will have to get out the way as well. The Williams will have to get out the way when Daniel Ricciardo approaches them. So, and he is definitely catching those Williams. So my worry here is that Ollie Behrman is so close behind him. I don't know what I can do to tell them to let him pass and unlap himself, because he's going to be so much quicker. I mean, again, it looks like he's going for it. And then, yeah, he stops for blue flags, and it's just slowing them both down. So I wonder if we just tell Danny Rick, like, go very, very slow. Okay, he's through. Ollie Behrman's through. Ollie Behrman is through. So Ollie Behrman needs to get a move on here, because we're telling Danny Rick to go very, very slow. There we go. Right, that should get Ollie Behrman into both of the Williams drivers, and Daniel Ricciardo can just chill out. Because Daniel Ricciardo's got so much time, I think, to Oscar Piastri. He's got 8 seconds. So, yeah, Daniel Ricciardo's absolutely fine. We don't have to worry about him. Ollie Behrman, on the other hand, look at him go. Go on, Ollie. If he gets one of them, he gets both of them. So that's easy. It just depends if this Williams driver's... Oh, go Ollie. Oh, Ollie. He's made that with a piece of piss. He's done that with a piece of piss. He's going to be up into 11th. Absolutely no problem. Behrman overtakes Sargent. I know, we saw it. And he should get Alex Albon relatively easily as well. Danny Rick can now go back onto neutral. That's not a problem. Yeah, he can look after the tyres. That's okay. Ollie Behrman into 12th. Let's get this done. Go for it, mate. Tyres are in temperature. Everything's looking good. Ollie Behrman deploys the battery, and he's going to get that one done past Alex Albon. Is that Alonso? No, I was going to say that's got to be a lapped car. And it is. It's going to be the lap car of Iwasa back there. So everybody's looking good at the moment. Let's just... How far are we pulling away from Albon? Not a great deal, but we should have a lot more pace than him for the remainder of this Grand Prix. I think 12 seconds is a bit much. We need to lap 2 seconds a lap faster than Fernando Alonso. Oh my god. A 1:13.9 compared to Alonso's 1:18. We may get Alonso. We may get Alonso. Wow. Keep going, Ollie Behrman, who's very close to the wall of champions there, wasn't he? But Danny Rick's just having a nice little stroll behind, watching his teammate get all the moves done, which is nice. But yeah, keep going, Ollie. 6 laps to go. Is that Albon getting back at him? Alright, let's leave him for dead. Go on, I believe. You can get that done. You can pull away from him. Okay, I was paying so much attention to Ollie Behrman that I didn't realise that Piastri was actually in front of Daniel Ricciardo, which is incredibly annoying. But Oscar Piastri on those fresh softs has basically done what we just did to Alex Albon with Ollie Behrman, just flown past him. 3 laps to go. The gap between Alonso and Behrman is 10 seconds. Ricciardo has Russell 23 seconds behind him, so that's not a problem at all. We probably could pit Daniel Ricciardo onto the softs, get him out, and go for fastest lap. I'm just going to save it because I'm always worried that it does that bug where you go and look at the pit strategy. So, reports, circuit information, time considerations. Under green flag, it's 22 seconds. That's going to be a bit close, isn't it? It does give us 1.9 seconds. But then, if it goes wrong, Russell and Hamilton could both pass us. So it's not worth going just for an extra point. We'll take the points from 7th place, please. That would be lovely. Ollie Behrman now has left Alex Albon for absolute dead. He's done a really good job, Ollie Behrman, today. He's done really good, actually. This Haas in front's got a blue flag. They nicely get out of the way. And, yeah, Ollie Behrman is going to come home lovely jubbly. I don't mind Daniel Ricciardo losing out to Piastri. Piastri's flying on those soft tyres. So, 26, it's 24.6 now. It's 22 seconds for a stop. Do I get him in? I'm going to go for it. We're going to go for it. Get him onto a fresh set of softs. Go for the fastest lap. We never take risks. I never take risks. Let's try it. Let's go for it. The gap is big enough behind. He's in the pit lane. Have I done this one lap too late because it's 69 of 70? So is this going to be lap 70? I don't think this is even going to count, but I may have balls this up massively. I don't think we've been lapped by Verstappen yet. You can see them there. That's the 2 dots we need to keep an eye out for. He's in. The soft tyres go on. 2.8. It should be fine. It should be fine. Still says lap 69, so I think we are going to get a chance to do this. Because it hasn't said Max Verstappen starts his final lap. So Daniel Ricciardo is out on fresh softs. Get those up to temperature. Get all your battery as much as you can charged. So the gap is 4.3. We had loads of time. So this is Verstappen has just started his final lap. So we are going to have one more lap after this. We've timed this right. Get that battery charged. And Daniel Ricciardo will be going for the fastest lap at the Grand Prix. Currently with Max Verstappen. Let's keep an eye on this. So Ollie Behrman has started his final lap now for his Grand Prix in 11th place. 8 seconds he brought the gap down to Alonso, so he's done well. So let's conserve that fuel. See if we can get a little bit extra fuel in there for Daniel Ricciardo. He's not going to have DRS off anyone on this last lap, but we're going to absolutely fly and see what he can do. So we're going to keep him in balance push mode. Deploy him out of here. Get ERS battle assist off. He doesn't need that. Daniel Ricciardo is going for the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. What can he do? We need to see purple sectors here. We need to see purple sectors. His fuel is fine. That's not a problem. Can he get it? Can he get it? Fresh softs at the end of the Grand Prix. The most grip on the track you'll see. Can he beat Max Verstappen's time? He has got a purple sector 1. He's got a purple sector 1, Daniel Ricciardo. Max Verstappen wins the Canadian Grand Prix, but we're not fussed about that. This V car really needs to get out of the way in a good place. Yes, it has got out of the way in a good place. Come on, Daniel. Just the hairpin, and then it's as fast as you can possibly go. It's a purple sector 2 as well. He's going to have battery as well. He's going to have battery to make this work. Daniel Ricciardo is sprinting to the line for the fastest lap. Behrman finishes 11th. Great race from him. He did really well. But can Daniel Ricciardo get the fastest lap of the Grand Prix? It's looking good at the moment for the Aussie. He's round the final corner. Daniel Ricciardo. Can he do it? He does get it! He gets the fastest lap and a 7th place finish. Get in there, Daniel Ricciardo. Lovely stuff. What a race for Brawn GP. So, Max Verstappen wins it, but Daniel Ricciardo in 7th with a 1:11.0 on the last lap of the Grand Prix. Lovely stuff for 7 points, 6 points, and an extra 1 for the fastest lap. And a great race from Oliver Behrman, up 5 places to 11th. Did a really, really good job. Daniel Ricciardo goes up to 7th, climbing above Fernando Alonso. And in the Constructors, we stay in 6th with a 28-point gap now over VCAR Red Bull, and closing the gap on Aston Martin ahead of us. Come on. It is looking good. Oliver Behrman with a good pit stop gets us 4 points in the pit stop stuff. We've now climbed to 10th. Hooray. We are making progress in the pit stops. And yeah, good stuff all round. Bonuses are paid out, $1.2 million in the bank. That is absolutely cracker-lacking. It really is. That actually went on for a bit longer than I thought it would, because I had our new fridge freezer was delivered halfway through that. So yeah, we'll have a look at that. But I think what we'll do in the next episode, and I do promise this, we will simulate Barcelona and race Austria, and then we're nearly at the halfway point anyway. So I think in the next episode we'll sim Barcelona, race Austria, sim Silverstone, and then we'll sim Budapest, race Belgium, sim Zandvoort, and we'll be back for Monza. So we're getting a bit of good progress here. Of course, remember to let me know down below what you think about getting in the mods, and we can rejig the calendar and maybe take some of the sprint races out, remove places like Miami because it's terrible, and yeah, let me know down below. But thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next episode. Cheers.